Morning, guys. This morning's video, like I had explained, I think on Thanksgiving Day I made that video, and I was saying in it that I'm going to possibly be starting a series. I'm still not really sure how that's going to work out. I do know that there are different topics that I want to speak on with helping the Black woman to just get better in every way, to get stronger. And when I say get better, that's not to say that I have all the answers and I'm the one that, they can get all the information from me and I'm going to really just turn their life around. It's really not so much about that. What it's about is I seem, as some seem to think, to have a knack for kind of getting people to look at things in a different way. Maybe a way that they had never looked at it before. And so if I can do that for my sisters, that's awesome, because we know the state of the Black woman right now. We know how she has been beaten down by in every way. We know this. There's really no need to go into it. We know that the campaign is strong, and it's been successful in many ways. But I don't count her out. I don't count her out. I understand, I overstand that it has to do with the mind. That's the first place that change is going to come to, is the mind. Now, before I get too deep into the topic of speaking to my sisters, let me address a couple things. Now, my understanding has grown quite a bit. I understand agendas, I understand purposes, I understand fear. Fear has a lot to do with people feeling as if they're going to lose power positions, and they're uncertain. They don't know what's going to happen. And they're hearing things, and they're not quite, really being able to process it correctly and everything. And so with that said, I'm going to get a lot of probably scared and angry men who are going to come to the video. A lot of them, in a lot of ways, will probably look at the title and say I'm male bashing. They're going to say I'm bitter. They're going to say I don't have a man. They're going to say that I've been hurt by men. They're going to say the typical, but what I need them to know and understand is, first of all, I don't care. I don't care, because I just explained, I understand. I understand sickness is very beneficial to people, just like here in America. The reason why they don't go natural, use natural plants, herbs, roots, marijuana, all that is because sickness is big business. If you can get people sick and dying off and keep them treated for years and everything, then they get money. And it's just the same way with the Black woman. It does need to be known that I do believe that the great goddess mother, there is a great goddess mother, that I believe she, the divine energy, the presence, all of that, I believe that is creation. I believe the female energy created all that we have and all that we see that's good and perfect and balanced. Now, the corruption, I'm not talking about that. So that's the viewpoint that I stand on. So if that's something that you don't agree with, the divine mother, goddess, that women are the creators and follow in her footsteps, we're made in her image, that men also have a very huge and mighty place in creation, in the life force, in all of that. But I believe their place through patriarchy has been corrupted, just like everything on this earth. If you really look at things just in a realistic way, it's almost as if everything has been flipped upside down. Everything right is wrong. Everything wrong is right. Those who aren't supposed to be in positions are in positions, and those who are supposed to be free and equal and things are supposed to be balanced, those are the ones who are beat down and hurt and crushed and abused and neglected. I mean, we see this. So we're going to have to start looking at things in a different way. We're going to have to put the Black woman back on her throne. She's going to have to get back in her place in order for everything to get right. I want you to go and do some research on matriarchy. I want you to do research on that. Do real, true research on that. So that you can see that for centuries that was just the order. That was the way things were. And it was overthrown by patriarchy. And thus, we're in the situation that we're in. Now, I'm not saying that through matriarchy everything was just divine and perfect. And I mean, I wasn't alive back then. Well, maybe my spirit was alive. But I don't remember being back then. And so I don't remember all that went along with that, but I know that it was not this corruption. I'm sure there were problems. I mean, I'm sure things were handled in a certain type of way, through a council of elders. I don't know. I don't know, all that went into that. I mean, so much has been lost throughout history and rewritten and redone and everything, but the bottom line, and I'm going to try to keep these videos short, I really am, and straight to the point, is that the Black woman needs to be healed. The Black woman needs to be put back in the position that the Divine Mother put her in, and where she's supposed to be. The man needs to be back in his rightful divine position, because one of the funny things that I need to explain, and the crazy thing, is that men have this idea that matriarchy is going to just totally replace them, and there's no need for women, and there's no need for men, and men are going to get stepped on and kicked in the head and just beat up, and it's just going to be all women and women and women, and that's not the case. It's about putting things back in divine order. When there was a perfect divine matriarchy system or way of life, men were very helpful and useful and in their place, and everything was about balance and divine order. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about getting rid of men. I mean, men have a vital place in the position of nature and balancing things out. You got to have that male energy, or it wouldn't have been created. It's needed. So, but what I'm also saying is that the female energy and the female's divine order needs to be recognized as well. So, like I say, I'm not saying that, men are going to be destroyed and killed, and there's no need for them, and women are just going to come take over and everything. This new era that we're in, this new time that we're in, is about balance. It's about love. It's about justice. It's about the laws of Ma'at, and it is about Ma'at putting things back in order. So, anyway, let me go ahead and get to the video. Looks like I'm about 10 minutes in. This video, like I say, it's about the Black woman healing. This one is more going to be about perception, though. And usually I'm looking over here because I do have some notes. Y'all know usually I don't use notes. I just go with it. But because I want to say specific things, and because I want to keep things in a specific set a specific way, without stepping on as less toes as I can, is what I'm trying to do. I really am. But sometimes it's hard to get someone healed, who you've used to them being sick. You've used to them being a certain type of way. And sometimes that's profitable for people. Like I just said, this is the American medical system. They profit off of those being sick and weak and hurt and whatever. And so the Black woman being in the position of being the lowest right now, looked upon as the lowest, not in her proper place, not in her proper position, not doing what she's supposed to do in her life, for her children, for her whatever, for herself, is profitable. For a lot of people are able to take advantage of that. And so we don't want to do that. We want balance, we want love, and we want everybody to be in the position that they're supposed to be in. That's just love. That's you don't want to be able to profit and walk on somebody's back just because they're down. That's the system that we're in now. We don't want that. We want to give everybody a hand up. We want to love everybody, and when everybody's in their right position, then everything's going to work right. So this video is about perception, the way things are looked at. Things sometimes are away for so long, especially in this life and in this world, the wrong way, until it becomes normal. But wrong is never normal. Hurt, abuse, crime, all the things that's in this system that is going to be done away with once things are set back in their divine place and order. Those things, they shouldn't be, and we're not going to continue to promote them. We're not going to continue to just let them be. So what we're gonna talk about this morning with the Black woman is expectations. Expectations. First of all, let me say, this world, the way that we were raised and the things that have been given to us, has given the Black woman a very false sense of expectations. Things that are supposed to be, things that, you're supposed to accept in this life. Most of it is wrong. It's just not the way it's supposed to be. One of the big things that has been given to girls, women, whatever, Black women, is romance and love, and the knight on the white horse, and the rescuing, and the man is going to be your savior, and the whole thing. And that type of thinking has really messed up a lot of women. It really has. I mean, the man by nature is not a romantic being, Prince Charming. And I mean, that's just really not the nature of a man. Usually you have to get a man to learn how to be romantic, and the flowers and the whatever. And that gives women a false sense, once again, of feeling as, oh, he loves me. Oh, he ran my bathwater and put roses in it and put candles and such and such. And the real true reality is he probably just wants some sex. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not, and that's not to look at the man in a bad way, because that's a part of his nature and who he is, But, this whole romance thing has really messed up and got a lot of our heads foggy. Because a man is romantic does not mean that he loves you. Because a man has learned what women like, and that women, you know, get all loosey goosey at the ring and at the flowers and the candy and the such and such, that they have learned how to give you what you want so that they could get usually what they want, you know. And I'm not saying it's always done for sex. A lot of times that is the way that he has also learned how to express himself. But love is a lot deeper than that. Real, true love is a lot deeper than that. Giving gifts. You know what I'm saying? Because what about the man that beats the hell out of his woman and then gives her gifts? So does he love her because he gave her a gift? Or does he hate her because he beat the hell out of her? He did both of them. So which is it, the love or the hate that's going to prevail? You know, it's a confusing thing. That's why we say love is action. You know, you're going to see and you're going to feel love. You know, it's not because somebody gives you gifts. It's not because somebody gives you money, they love you or what have you. Sometimes things are done out of obligation. Sometimes things are done out of benefit. But like I say, the thing, this romance, this fantasy, this knight on the white horse or whatever, the romance and all of that has really caused women to think unrealistically. You know, I was in that. I'm not going to even lie. I used to be in that, you know, because you equate those things with love. But when it's really not, you know. I know in my life, I don't teach my daughter fairy tales. The Cinderella, the Snow White. I don't even think she knows those stories because I've never taught her those stories. She may have learned it at daycare or something. I kind of doubt it. But we just never. I never did the fairy tales and I never taught her that part of what has been taught to us and what women later on a lot of times begin to expect out of life. It's just not realistic. And so expectations, like I say, is something that's going to have to change in the Black woman, changing from that fantasy, all that fantasy stuff, you know, a lot of times you grow up and not necessarily grow up, but once you grow up, you know, you want the big wedding and the carousel, and the carriage ride and, you know, the white dress and the so forth and all that. And oh, it's so big and beautiful and romantic. But the marriage lasts 3 or 4 years, 3 or 4, 5 years. There's so many people who spend thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on weddings and rings and people and receptions and all of this hoopla and all of this charade, you know, and then it doesn't last. And so then what was the purpose of all of that? Just fantasy. A lot of women spend so much time planning the wedding and planning, the dress and the whole thing, but yet they don't know how to be a wife. They don't spend any time on the actual marriage. It's all about fantasy. It's all about fantasy. So we're going to have to get out of that fantasy. We're going to have to start getting into reality and learn the difference between fantasy and reality. So the other expectation is the expectation that comes once again off of this fantasy and reality, that the man is supposed to take care of you. Now, the perverted part of that is that the man is just supposed to come along with a big house and a big car and lots of money and everything, and you're just supposed to live good and free and eat cherries and sit on the couch and whatever, and he's just supposed to take care of you. Now, I think the problem with that is that in this society we have perverted partnership. We've perverted partnership. It used to be that marriage and the coming together of two individuals was about partnership. What are you going to bring to the table? What am I going to bring to the table? What are you going to do? What am I going to do? It was about partnership, equality. It wasn't about women being totally and and completely dependent on the man to do everything for her, because we see what that has brought us. You have usually a lot of times in this society that we're in, you have a lot of men who, as soon as they see a woman who looks needy or looks dependent or says something about money or just whatever, oh, she'll go there, she want my money, let me run, let me hide, let me put my, my money up, let me, and it really becomes a game of, how can I keep her from getting anything from me? You know what I'm saying? And so, but if it is a partnership where you see things in this woman that she is going to be helpful and beneficial to you or for your children or for your life, if you see something good and beneficial in that, if you see something beneficial in this man, because we have gotten so low as Black women until we accept anything. We accept the drug dealer. We accept the one with the felonies. We accept the one just staying with his mama, sitting on the couch, not doing anything, no job. He's telling us he's looking for a job, but the man is doing this and the man is doing that and holding me back and I just can't. And what we accept them and we take them and we love them and we buy them clothes and we, give them money and just take care of them like they're a child. And then when he cheats on you or whatever, or is not faithful or whatever, you expect all those things that you gave him or whatever to keep him. And it's not going to, because you can't buy love. You can't buy somebody being with you. The first thing that you should have done was looked at what does this person have to give me and to offer and to bring into my life. And I'm not saying that women should be all out for self or whatever, but to be very, very honest, I think a little selfishness does need to come back into the Black woman's mindset, or maybe not selfishness. Maybe we need to start looking at partnership. How about that? Maybe that sounds a little bit better, because if you know what you bring to the table, and if this man is coming, or a potential man is coming into your life with no type of anything that's going to add to what you have to offer, then you need to look at that really, really strong and really, really look at what is he bringing me? If it's all about bad debt and no money, and I'm not going to be able to get a house because he got felonies, and I'm not going to be able to get this car, and I'm not going to be able to do the things that I need to do to live. Because once again, you have men who have this idea that because a woman wants a house and a car and a this and a that she's a gold digger. And I think that's crazy, because you need a job. You need a car, a good, dependable car. You need a nice, stable, decent home. There's nothing wrong with that. It's so often that we look at the Black woman as, wanting something extra special and overly over the top when she wants good and decent things. But another woman of another race, you don't look at her like that. Matter of fact, you look at her as if she deserves that. But the Black woman, oh, well, what does she want a nice house for? What does she want a big Lincoln Navigator for? What does she need a, $5,000 car for? Whatever, not $5,000 car, but $5,000 pair of shoes, whatever. And I'm saying this trying to use the fact of wanting something nice. It's not about price and all that kind of stuff. I'm not bringing that up about price. I'm bringing up the fact that when you look at it on a large scale, a lot of times people look at the Black woman as if she should not ask for those things. She does not deserve those things. And if she does, then, she's a gold digger. She's another kind of woman. But other women are given those things freely, or it's not, you don't look at her like she's a gold digger because she expects you to take her on trips. She just expects you to buy her the finest wine. She just expects, matter of fact, it's done without thought a lot of times. Those men who feel like those women deserve that, give that to them without any kind of anything about it, but without even a second thought, because you're trying to impress her, you want her and everything else. But like I say, when it comes to a woman that you don't feel is worthy, or a woman that you feel like doesn't deserve those things, then it becomes a problem, which is why, like I say, the black woman is going to have to raise her standards. The black woman is going to have to stop dealing with these men who have that type of mentality, because you're going to have to realize that you do deserve the best. You do deserve the best. I mean, who is another person to tell somebody what they don't deserve? I mean, seriously. Do we think about that? You know? And if that person, that guy, that whatever is not, you see that they're not going to be able to come into your life and be a partner with you, an equal partner with you, so that the two of you can build and the two of you can grow and the two of you can establish some things together, then you need to move on. I mean, really, you seriously need to do yourself a favor and stop getting involved with people who are going to bring your life down, who are going to keep you in a position of poverty and keep you in a position of always trying to get ahead and always looking for more and always this and always that. Because usually when you're in a situation with a person like that, usually as soon as they get on their feet, or as soon as they feel that they can get better or whatever, they're going to leave you. And that's really man or woman. A lot of times that happens. A lot of times that happens. And then you're left hurt, and you're left, bitter and angry, and treat the next person horrible, even though that person may not deserve it, but because you're hurt, you're going to hurt them, and it remains a cycle. It remains a cycle. And so that's why I say, when we start thinking in terms of partnership, and we start thinking in terms of what can you bring to me and what can I give to you, then perception begins to change. But perception is going to have to change from the beginning, because otherwise you won't even be able to do that, to see that, to see like that. Also, I'm going to try to wrap this up in 10 minutes. Also, the putting your children first. If you're a woman who has already have children, who already, have maybe you, for whatever reason, you are a single mom, whether through divorce, whether through, you never married the children's dads. I hate the word baby daddy. You didn't marry their dads or what have you, then, you're in a situation where you're single. Okay. That type of situation, your number one and main priority behind yourself is your children. That needs to begin to be number one. There are way too many women, and this could be a whole video by itself, but there are way too many women who come and put men in their life, or men that they want, or that they feel that they need, over their children. Children become neglected, children become abused, and children become damaged emotionally and for a long, long time. And then they begin to act out. But we got to stop putting anyone else above our children. We need to be top priority, so that we can make our children right up under us our main priority, our main focus. Begin to do those important things, like getting life insurance, like securing your children some bank accounts. Here's one real big thing, that one way to protect yourself and your money and your children and your life is to, as early as you can, get your children a savings account, bank account, whatever, and you become the one over it. Because in most cases that I have been discovering and looking at, no one else is going to have access to that money. No one else is going to have access to those accounts. No one can come along and change it. They can't steal money out of it or anything like that. And you can begin to build and secure your children a future some money, something to fall back on. So when, Tommy wants some so-and-so, well, you can go in his own money and you can get it. And it's just a building thing. It helps the children too. It helps them learn about finances and things like that. And it's just good to have that security. But insuring yourself, insuring your children, having these things a lot of times set in place already. And then when someone comes into your life, they need to know that, yeah, I already got this stuff. I mean, especially if things begin to get very, very serious. Otherwise, they really don't need to know. But when things start getting serious, they need to know that, yes, I have this, I have that, and whatever. If you can trust them. Because a lot of times, it's kind of crazy because a lot of times you have men who have all this other extra stuff, whole other extra life that the women don't even know about and doesn't find out until they break up. So you use your own discretion on whether you need to tell him or not. And that's just the bottom line to it. You're not taking anything from him, but putting yourself and your children in insurance policies and life insurance policies and bank accounts and getting you a bank account and you something to fall back on, you something to have. And when he comes into your life, he needs to know that, yeah, I got all this already set up with me and my children. If you want to come and join or be a part or come add to whatever, then we can maybe even do something separate. But don't touch and don't move or give anyone else access to what you have already established in your life. Because a lot of times the case is that the woman she's established, she got her own this, she has her own that, she has her own car, she has her own whatever. Then she'll get a person into her life who she will add on to all of the stuff that she already has. And then once that relationship doesn't work out, if it doesn't, I mean, we know in this society, most relationships are just not lasting. Now, if they do, it's awesome and wonderful, and I'm all for that. But we have to look at just in case. Then you have this person, though, that's tied to your bank account. And they're tied to your house now. And they're tied to your car or whatever. And, you see these court cases all the time, Judge Judy and all these other cases. I understand those aren't real, but I'm just using them for example, something that everybody knows. And then, you bought this expensive computer, this expensive, China set or whatever. And because you don't have no receipts and because you didn't keep your stuff in order and because you don't have any proof of anything, then they can just say, oh, well, my name's on that too. And so, then the judge has to split it. You know what I'm saying? The judge has now split it. When it's yours. It was yours when you met me, I had this. But you get people, when you start dealing with money and relationships and when things start ending, oh my goodness, people get really, really, it's like a whole other side of them that you've never seen before. They get evil, wicked, and vindictive. And that's men and women. I know men love to say, oh, the women just get evil and wicked and whatever. Just from my own personal experience, I've seen some wicked men. I have had experience at the end of relationships where men get very, very violent and very threatening and very mean, and they want to hurt you, they want to destroy you, and they want to take everything you have, they want to break you, and they want to make sure that you are no good for anybody else. It's one of those, if I can't have you, can't nobody else have you type things. I have known men like that. I thank the heavens, I thank the Creator that I've never gotten broken or whatever in those threats and what have you, but they have been given to me, and I have had to recover, and so this is why I say, through life experience, I'm telling you women, you need to secure yourself, secure your future, secure your children in something, because when it comes down to he said, she said, and the end of the relationship and how things get so bad and ugly, yeah, women get ugly, but men get ugly too. And so the bottom line is that you need to have paperwork, receipts, documents, all this kind of stuff just in place. and in line, so that there will be no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, also, I don't think it's always a good thing to let him start coming in and you put his name on the house and you put his name on this and you put his name on your car and I don't think that that's good, especially if it's not that real partnership that you need. You know what I'm saying? If there's equality and if there's partnership, and first of all, a real man is going to think that it's a good thing that you got your children some insurance. It's a good thing that you got yourself secured. And it's a good thing. I mean, he's not a real true man is not going to be threatened because you have a bank account for your children or you have a bank account for yourself. He's going to really think that that's a smart woman. That's a wise woman to have, to put herself in protection, under some type of protection, And so, be partners. Get with a person in these last 5 minutes. Getting with a person, like I said, who has the partnership mindset, who has the nation building type mindset, that we're going to do this together. I'm not going to see you fall and struggle. You don't need to see me fall and struggle. I mean, it's not cool for a woman to do everything for a man and buy all this clothes and buy all this food and let him drive her car and this and that. I mean, it's a different thing. I mean, it's your choice. If you want to just take care of a guy and give him your all, that's a whole different thing. But in a real, true, healthy partnership, that's not good. That's not good. You need to bring to the table. He needs to also bring to the table. And that doesn't make you selfish. That doesn't make you evil. That doesn't make you a gold digger because you expect a man to be able to provide and to give and to be a real true partner. Way back when things were in a lot better shape than they are now, a man, when he would go to the father trying to get his daughter's hand or whatever, he prided himself on, I have this job. I have this car, I have this house, or I have access to these things, or I'm going to college to get these things or whatever. That's what the conversation with dad was about. I can take care of your daughter. I'm going to love your daughter. I'm going to do this, thus and so for your daughter. And there was nothing wrong with that. But now, like I say, we're in a society where if a woman says she wants a nice home and she, I want my children taken care of and I want my children to have such and such or whatever, she a gold digger. How? How is that? I think we need to start dealing with men with a little bit. I think we need to start dealing with men and not boys. And I think that's another real big issue. That actually could be another video, dealing with men, the difference between men and boys, because I think we have a lot of boys out here who are trying to act like men. And because we don't understand perception, we're looking at the fact that he has a penis and, he's a man. No. And because he says he's a man, usually a man does not have to say that he's a man. He's just going to do those things that you see. He's a man. You know what I'm saying? So it's about perception. It's about taking care of yourself. It's about taking care of your children. It's about changing the way that you have been doing things to make yourself better, your life better. And it's just going to have to be. I would hope that the things that I said, that they resonate in you, that you see that I'm not trying to, get the woman to be selfish or whatever, but sometimes selfishness is okay. I mean, really, when it has to do with benefiting you, helping you to get better, sometimes it's okay to be a little bit selfish. And I think the black woman so many times gives of herself so much selfishly and puts herself on the back burner and takes care of everybody else, so much so that usually she's the one that's lacking. And usually when it's all done and over with, the black woman is the one picking herself back up. And I think we need to stop doing that. I think we've gone through the cycle long enough. We've gone through the cycle for far too long that it's time for us to stop getting up It's time for us just to continue the path. You know what I'm saying? You can continue the path without falling down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good that a woman is strong and I can recover and I can do this again. And I mean, that's good, but after a while, it just gets tiring. Just continue the path. Don't always have to fall. But it has to do, like I say, with perception. It has to do with getting a person who's partner-minded in your life and taking care of your children, which is your greatest asset, your biggest asset. And so that's pretty much everything I had on my list. I didn't want to go too long. I went a lot longer than I wanted to, as usual. But I just wanted to put those things out there. I'm going to be making other videos here shortly. I may even come back with another one this morning. But yeah, Black woman, heal yourself. Heal yourself. You have to do it. You're the one that has to do it. Nobody else is going to do this for you. Okay? And so I thank you guys for watching. I thank you all for please comment and subscribe. Please be nice. Please be nice. But I mean, if you don't agree, if you don't like it, if you don't, whatever it is, there's still a mature way to say it. I don't mind dialogue at all, as long as we can dialogue, but if it's a one-sided, hateful, bitter, ugly, nasty, whatever, I'm going to block you. Okay. So you guys take care of yourself. Women, Black women, heal yourself, okay? And thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, we'll see you next time.